Hello,
Hello.
welcome to our neck of the woods. Hi, everybody out there.
How's everybody doing?
Eddie, no apologies necessary. It was a lovely conversation. I just knew I was at my limit there at the end.
We're falling
um,
asleep.
Not because we were
Not
bored.
bad.
I
Yeah,
was
we
just
were not bored.
exhausted.
Long day yesterday, and yep.
No apologies
How you
necessary.
doing,
Not
Dawn?
ever. Hi, Dawn. Hi, everybody out there who hasn't said hello yet or is just listening. Um,
Rain's just a beating on the roof and
we'll do our best today.
wet and all, so we might be in and out, a little choppy.
And if we do get choppy, just let us know.
Yeah, we'll try to do our best. Phone's in the window, best I can get it.
So I didn't pick a specific topic to talk about today. I meant to, but I had some other things that I needed to take care of, just like yesterday. So I know there were a couple of you guys out there that were a little bit worried. Please do not fear. It was just a matter of Jeff had things that he had to get done, and I had things I had to get done, and Raina really needed mom time yesterday, and I wanted to give her my full attention. And you guys are important too. I get that. And we love you. But when little ones need us, we should be there. So, and I know most of you understand that. So
I'd have taken you on the ride to go get the
Hey,
firewood,
K9.
but the only problem is once you get down so far down the hill into the valley, you lose signal. And then once you get down into Killbuck, yeah.
So today we've got storms overhead, and I watched some of the weather today, and you ladies that follow us around on a late night circuit, you know who you are. So we were talking about the weather maps and stuff, and I was joking with our Canadian sisters up there about how they keep shoving this cold shit on us. Man. But also how that Canadian cold front is going to lend to a wall that's going to protect us from the hurricanes. So all good stuff, right? Right, Gary, I bet you
right where
we're getting double hit here in Ohio. We're going to get double whammy. We got that storm line coming up from the south and moving east, right? And then we have inland cyclone forming with the hot air that came up from the south.
Yep.
And the cold air that's pushing down from the north. And Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, like the top of Indiana, I think, the very top of Illinois, and the Ohio Valley, we're going to all get hit with this cyclone, like inland cyclone energy for this next week. And all the way through Raina's birthday. But I know she'll still have fun. So that kid, since birth, has been happy so long as there are balloons.
Yeah. As long as there's balloons.
So, yeah. And that's the one thing we haven't gotten yet, is the balloons. Come on, hurry up. Blow, quick. And we just buy a bag of balloons and we just blow them up. Now the kids are old enough that they get to blow them up. Like, we just totally put... we just hand them the bag and go, here, let us know if you need help tying them. So it's all fun. And so, yeah, we've been doing a lot of, Raina's birthday's this weekend. So we've been doing a lot of trying to get that all taken care of and wrapped up and tie a nice little bow on top of it and all that good stuff. So, and then the following week, we're not that far out from the barbecue. So we're coming right down on the wire here, and we're going to have a cold, wet week, which means that the following week we're going to have to really hustle to get the outside down because everything's going to grow back up again, even though it's getting colder. You know how weeds are. So
this is the guy that
I know we're not weather people, guys. I'm sorry. I just, what's that? It's like the weather's always your fallback, right? Yeah, we watch Ryan. We watch Ryan Hall, y'all, and occasionally Mike Morales. Um, but when I just want straight up weather and I want to see all the maps and I want to see what's out there, what's coming in, and how it's all going to react, that's the guy I go to. He's a really good weatherman, and he does a fantastic job explaining what maps describe what energies, whether it's convective energy, what that is, how it works, and how it. I like to make Raina watch them with me because I kind of feel like she's interested in a little bit of that, but she doesn't want to say because she knows if she tells mom she's interested in something, mom goes batshit crazy and gets a whole bunch of stuff related to that one item. See, he knows. Well, I just always try to encourage her to do whatever she wants to do, and I want to make it available to her. So, hey, Gigi. Gigi. Oh. Well, that cold front's coming in, Gigi. I was just talking about it. That one you're fixing to send my way, inland cyclones and whatnot. Yeah, you know I got my eye on you.
Yes, we are. We're going to find there.
You know what? I'll bet Gigi's the center of that convective heat energy that's making the inland cyclone. You know I love you, girl.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Polly.
we are doing okay, Polly. That's why I said if I pop on into a 2-second video to let you guys know we're not going to be on that day, there's nothing wrong. I'm showing you my face to show you there's nothing wrong because I don't want you guys to worry. But you know, we had the opportunity to pick up some free kiln dried kindling style firewood free, like by the pallet. And they need it this winter.
Yep. And they need it gone.
And they needed it gone now. So he had to go down and get that.
One of the things I just had to go do yesterday.
You can't beat that, man. We can't beat it when we get hookups like that. Nope. And then I like to also use some of it for craft stuff. Yeah. But that's right, K9 power surges. Oh, Gigi's the human resonance going off the charts. Oh, I'm gonna check.
Yeah.
Will you send me what time you woke up so that I can check and see if it corresponds with the Alberta spikes in these human resonance? Yeah, you know, you might be a conductor, like a spiritual conductor. Conductor as the electronic version, you know, that conducts electricity. Interesting thought. So we're gonna, you know what, we are going to go ahead and, well, hi nobody. Robin, Monty, LHS, Polly, Betty, Dawn, somebody else. There's somebody else in here. K9. I love that name, K9 Dogma. I don't know how you came up with that, but that is, I love seeing interesting names like that. It just tickles me. Yeah, heartbeat of the earth. I'll bet it's about a beat an hour. What do you think? Hey, we're gonna pop the link in here if you guys want to come up and chat before the storms get really, really bad, because I hear the thunder picking up. I hear the rumbling.
I think that was just a truck on.
Okay, well, that might have been one of Raina's birthday presents.
I could have been.
So, you guys want to pop up and have a conversation today? We didn't pick a topic, but we're happy to talk about it. Shift Kicker. I love that name too. That's a great name too, right? Shift Kicker. Right? You know what it makes me think of? It kind of makes me think of that working 9 to 5. Sorry. Gigi's in the chat and she automatically makes me sing. And I don't know what that's about, but there's a connection there, I'm pretty sure. We understand, honey.
We're in Ohio. Robin?
Yeah, we're gonna get hammered. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Betty. And then we're gonna get hammered for a whole week in a row. I don't know if you saw that. They're gonna have an inland cyclone that's gonna develop its heart right over Ohio.
That's why I gave you that link.
And Michigan. Michigan's going to get it worse than we are. So keep Jeff Riddle on your thoughts, guys, and Camo Carl and our brothers and sisters up there in Michigan, because I know there's more.
My sister does live up in Upper Michigan.
All right,
I
K9.
can't remember where.
Good to know, bud. Thank you. And thank you for that email yesterday. I got to blow that up and look at it. Robin, I told you, she's in Canada. They're pushing this shit down on us. It's their fault. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just picking. Hey, Travis. Good to see you, man.
This is
all right,
true,
well,
Gary. Very, very true.
We're going to golden thread.
Hey, Travis.
Well, shit, send me some of that warm. Look at me. I'm sitting here in a hoodie.
Damn.
And I've got a blanket over my lap. You pop the link in there again in case anybody would like to come up. And I saw Monty. I know he's in here too. I know he likes to come up. Unless he's not feeling well, in which case I would understand.
We completely understand.
Get better. Get better, bud.
Hurting teeth aren't for much.
Hey, Travis. If you're not driving, you want to pop in? Gigi, you guys want to pop in?
Yeah,
Anybody? Celtic Mutt? Hey, Celtic Mutt, good to see you again. Pop up here and talk to us, man. All right.
Unsick. Yeah, right.
Travis, we can't ever get in over there and talk to you anymore. We get in the back room and it's bleep, 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 and we lose everything. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, right.
You know, I can't wait for that day to come because right now I'm freezing cold all the time in the middle of summer. I can get freezing cold because I know I'm pinching and stuff. But
what we got here?
News. Hey.
What we got?
Hey, Mutt, how you doing? I know you're listening. Hey, Mutt.
Welcome.
Howdy, howdy. Got everything else turned off here. Give me just a second. There we go. I don't want there to be any feedback. So y'all are expecting foul weather, are you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we're due for some. Because I have what's called hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain, and I have a shunt, which is basically like a built-in barometric pressure reader. And it's I've been feeling off for 2 or 3 days now. So.
Yeah. My dad had the same issue when he was alive. God rest his soul now, but yeah, he could tell when the weather was.
Yep.
He knew it was going to be super hot, and he knew when it was going to get wet. He knew it was fun.
Was he hydrocephalic?
That I don't know. I just know he had, total of 3 heart attacks and 7 stents. And he could just, even all his life, he could kind of tell when the weather was going to change, but right after he had the heart attacks and the stents, he could tell when it was going to, like the heavy weather was coming. He could feel it. He felt off. He didn't feel right.
Well, between the hydrocephalus and the reconstructed left ankle, I'm pretty much within about 6 hours of when the storm blows in.
Wow.
So you're better than a Vermont weather stick.
Yep.
And now you can see how much of a smartass I really am. I do too, actually.
Smart, like I told you the other night, you look up smartass in the dictionary, and there's my picture right next to the definition. I told you that.
I don't know. We may have a contest for that. I'm not sure. You might win.
Well, I'm in Webster's. You might be in Britannica.
Well, is that okay? See, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to keep it fair.
Yeah, and we do have a tin roof. It is going to get loud. If it gets really loud and you guys, it's bothering you, mute us or
Tin
let us
roof.
know and we'll mute ourselves.
Yeah.
A tin roof in the rain.
So what do
Good
you want to
sleeping
talk
weather.
about?
Oh,
Well,
it is too.
Yeah, you're going to get
perfect
storms
sleeping
too,
weather.
Mutt, because you're in Virginia. You said.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're due for it.
Yeah, you're
Going to get it because
because
it's coming. It's coming your way after. That's that line of storms that's running all the way. It's running vertically up and down the United States, and it's coming. It's pushing over us right now, and so it's going to hit you next.
Yeah, I follow Ryan Hall.
It's
as
going
well.
eastward.
You liked watching him too?
Yeah, I actually got introduced to him during Ida.
Oh, really? Well, that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I have friends and family down in New Orleans, and I wanted to see what was going on with that. So I was doing a search on here and ran across him.
Oh, okay.
Get an echo.
Ryan
We've
Hall,
been
y'all.
watching him for about the last year. Kind of ran in, just stumbled upon him, and ever since then, he's been pretty accurate with, like, we watch Mike Morales, and he's pretty good. He's, a little who he is. He is who he is.
He has his moments. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll go with that. I don't object to him at all. And then, of course, Noah Weather. I follow Noah Weather pretty close, and I don't really watch AccuWeather very much. They're more like within, I don't know. Sometimes they're not even accurate at all. But anyhow, yeah.
And so anybody, hey, let me say this real quick out here. Anybody that is still upset or scared or living in any kind of fear about this La Palma stuff, go check out Ryan Hall, y'all, and it's yesterday's video. It's 9/20/2021. You check out his video from yesterday, and he explains all the energy currents, all the cold air currents, all the hot air currents, how things, if he'll explain it to you if you don't know and you're interested in knowing, and it'll set you to rights. Okay, it'll set you to not.
I was just getting caught up on
Not
that.
falling-
I found that Volcanoverse.
prone to the fear mongering. I can't stand that when people do that. That really bothers me. That whole what if end of the world scenario, and you get everybody's anxiety way up high again, and it's like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
They're not even, and people don't think rationally when they're in that mode. You know what I mean? They don't think rationally. They're not saying to themselves, they're not saying to themselves, well, the residents of Canary Island haven't evacuated yet, right?
Yeah, didn't they only evacuate the tourist area?
Yeah.
That's all. Yep. And they do have some lava flow going on over there.
Yeah, it's
You
eating up some houses and some of the forests.
But they're not talking about anything else other than that. They're not talking about any more seismic activities. They're not talking about any more frequency rises within the lava. They're not, it's, I don't, it's just,
It's amazing how the MSM loves to drum up fear mongering.
they'll word it just so to make it sound.
Yeah, you always
so,
got to be careful with that language, man. They use that and they twist that. They use it against us. You got to be aware of the language.
That's what
Hi, Bonnie.
A lot of people are finally starting to come to be aware, which is good. And, it's going to take a little time, but look how long it's taken already, a little over a year. Hello, Monty.
Monty.
Hello.
How you feeling today?
Oh, chipper. Yeah.
We just wondered if you were feeling better. How you doing today, Bonnie?
I'm good.
Good.
Barely hear you. I can hear you, but barely.
Maybe I don't know. Well, I'm
Perfect.
not talking very
There you go.
good.
There
Perfect.
you go. Yep. What's it like
Can I
down
say
there? I see.
something?
Yeah,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Absolutely.
It's humid. But we're in the 80s, so that's good. On to what y'all were just talking about. It just hit me a while ago for some reason. There's a reason all of us are joined together through these channels, and whether you fought in a battle on the field or you fought in a battle in your home, wherever you fought that battle, we are all survivors of that. We are warriors. And so nobody think that we're weak in any way. There is those scars and those wounds and all of that is what makes you who you are, and it makes you stronger, and it makes you a little more fearless, and that's what we need to be. But in that comes a big responsibility also. I've heard men saying they want to be on those horses coming down from heaven. Well, you have to think too, they're to wipe out what's left. And so if it's your loved ones, everybody, just pray for their souls, pray that they find the right path before that time comes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know if that sounds weird, but
Sounds good to
I
me.
love all of
Sounds logical.
that's my
We love you too,
granddaughter.
Bonnie.
Thank you. My daughter named my granddaughter Athea. I've never heard this name ever anywhere, and it's I think it's Arabic. I don't know, but for the first year of her life, I called her Athea, but it's Athea is the way it's pronounced. And I told my daughter, I said, I just see her as like this. From day one, this little fearless princess, because it sounds like a prince's name, I guess. Just growing up and being this warrior for good. And she's like, thank you, I appreciate that. And I said, well, there's a purpose. There's a purpose for every person on this earth.
Yes,
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
is. I'm a firm believer of that.
Picture it and it'll be.
That's right. That's what was given to us. That's exactly right. What was given to us. Imagination.
I didn't look
We
at
can
your
build it.
title.
We
I
can
don't
do
know
it.
what.
What's that?
I didn't look at your title. I don't know what y'all were wanting to talk about, but
Rainy day stuff and stuff.
So
Oh,
nobody feels
Yeah,
the
we were
fear.
just pulling stuff out of the air, so that was
Yeah,
great that you
stuff.
came on with something. Thank you so much.
Here's a little something for you. Athena,
Okay.
which is the derivative of Athea, which is your granddaughter's name, was the goddess of wisdom.
There you go.
And Athena is the goddess of Athens. You remember on Gigi's the other night, and she said, "What is it illegal to cut down in Greece, in Athens, Greece?"
That's right.
And I said the
Olive
olive tree because the
Olive
olive
trees.
tree.
Yeah.
See,
Oh, wow.
Athena in mythology, Athena is the only deity who was born from the father only. She was born out of Zeus's head.
Yep.
And she is signified as holding a sword and an olive branch because she battled Apollo for Athens when it was
That's awesome.
there's There's lots of stories about Athena. Lots of stories about Athena. She was
Yes, I have
revered
to-
in that pantheon, though. Strength and wisdom.
She's the goddess of
never-
strength and wisdom.
Yeah, I never really looked into mythology much, but maybe I should.
Well, I'm not well versed on Greek mythology, but I am very well versed on Celtic mythology. Go figure, because I go by Celtic Mutt. But
You are.
and yeah, there's a lot of tie-ins.
I knew I recognized that voice
Oh
from
Lord,
somewhere.
Oh,
From
oh
Ship.
no,
shipwreck.
probably,
Ship.
probably.
Yep. No, you're fine. We're all
Yeah.
good people.
Did you all
Well,
get
that's-
that email about Liberty's mom?
No.
I haven't. If did he send it from Mike Poff?
No. Tara sent it out
Because if
to
he
all
did,
of us.
then I gotta go check my email. What's that? Oh, it's from Liberty Warrior.
Tara, yeah,
I-
well, via Liberty, but
Okay.
it's from Tara.
We'll go check
Said
that
that
real quick.
Said that he was on his way to go get her from the hospital. I think he was meaning
Oh.
his dad. I don't know. So,
Awesome.
That's
though.
great.
yeah.
That is great.
Yes,
I knew
'cause
halfway through the show last night his mom's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
His mom's
could
gonna be
feel it.
okay. Like it's already done. She's already on her mend.
Yesterday, when I was talking about volcano, I wasn't just particularly talking about Spain. Has anyone looked up how many active erupting volcanoes there is worldwide right
yes.
now?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's 41.
450.
Mhm.
41.
No. 41.
Active.
So,
Spewing either
Erupting.
ash or lava. And or
whoops. They fell off. Gummit.
so that kind of puts together why they say it's going to be a nuclear winter, because if all that ash comes up in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty cold.
When that one went up in Washington, was it? Mount Rainier?
St. Helens.
St.
Oh.
Helen. We got the
Yeah.
ash all the way down here from that.
Yeah, so did we.
So I can see that happening. So you're doing okay, Monty?
Oh, I'm here.
Hang in there. That's what I was meaning too. Some of us, our bodies aren't doing what we want them to do, and you still got your mind. You still got your voice. Use it.
I don't know about still having my mind. I mean, that just depends on who all you ask.
Monty, you're always making us laugh, and you can sing really well too.
I'm no Shane Phelps.
Hopefully, there's only one of each of us. Robin Ward, I'm in Texas. Just saw that question. Are they going to be able to come back on? Or do you think they're going to have to cut it?
Oh no, they'll be back. If
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Thanks
There
for
they
holding the
are.
fort down.
Yep.
You know me. Yak, yak, yak.
Fuck up. Oh. Yeah, I was crazy there.
We're gonna leave the camera off for a little bit because
streaming.
because it's picking up out there.
Do I need to turn mine off? Will it?
No,
Will
honey,
that
you're
stay up?
fine. You're fine.
No, you're all right.
And if we drop out, we'll
Yep,
be
just-
back.
just
We'll be
hold
right
for
back.
a second. We'll be right back in.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Robert. LHS. Everybody else that showed up that I didn't say hi to earlier. God Soldier. Yeah, so what do you
So
guys
Jeff
want
and Heather,
to talk about today?
10 by 18.
Yes.
how much does StreamYard cost?
Okay, well, it's free with 20 free hours per month, but you got to keep their logo and everything in their in the screen. Then it's $25 a month, and then you can unlimited stream, and you can upload to 3 other platforms, so like YouTube,
BitChute,
Rumble.
whatever other platforms.
Discord?
Of course, this is the only platform we're using. So.
And yeah, and this is the only one we're using. So
I looked into it, but they don't use my platform, so
yeah. Well, you can. There's a when you go into which platform you want to put it to. There's a button for encoding, and you can actually encode it to the platform of your choosing.
oh, okay, I'll have
As
to
long
look
as it
into
has
that.
an RM, because I think it's as long as it has an, I think if I'm not mistaken, RMS code.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
yes, yeah. As long as it's got the RMS code in it, then you can link it to it. But you have to know how to do the coding to get it in there.
StreamYard's probably going to be the one I go with. Then.
We like it.
Well, and we have problems on Restream with our signal. I don't know if it takes more signal. You know what I mean? More signal strength, and we're out in the woods. You know what I mean? And we have an iffy signal on great days. So StreamYard works pretty well with our poor signal. That didn't sound good, but you know what I mean.
Well, it's also this how much bandwidth the host is having to, and how many people you have up on panel
Right.
for
Right.
restream.
And I know it's a .io and not a .com, so I don't know what the differences between them are on how they run their servers, but
I don't know. On StreamYard, I don't have a problem, and my phone don't freeze up. But anytime I'm on Travis's or Liberty's or anybody, one that's restream, it freezes up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why we like our StreamYard, because it does treat us better as far as that goes, because we have problems on Travis's a lot. Well, we didn't when we first started talking over there and stuff, but then it just got to the point now it's like almost impossible for us to say anything on Restream on Travis's, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just signal strength or whatever, but
Or combinations, or
Yeah, combination.
What's that, Bonnie?
Combination. I was also thinking about Zoom too. But
Well, that was the other one. We have that, but I've never checked out to broadcast. I've never checked out that other side of it. We've just used it to join meetings.
I still haven't figured out it on my phone yet.
Which one?
Zoom?
Zoom? Yeah.
I've used Zoom quite a bit, but not for streaming through YouTube or anything. In conjunction with it, I mean.
Right, just having private meetings or private.
Yeah.
Calls,
Hi there,
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, Zoom's been around for a very long time. I mean,
Did you craft some stuff?
I think just after XP.
She doesn't want
Yep.
to. She never wants to talk anymore.
I use it for, like, if I'm talking to a client.
Hey,
Right.
come here. Give me a
don't know what just happened to
Yeah,
them.
we'll be right. Just give us 1 second.
No problem. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Robin.
Thank you. I was trying to be quietly doing it. Hi.
Robert. Artist and poet. I'm just barely getting used to seeing your name, Polly.
Yeah.
Ouch. I don't know. Okay, you know how like the human body is a receiver and transmitter of energy, right?
Yes.
And so my theory or whatever, ideology, whatever, is these volcanoes are all erupting on Earth, and that's energy. And I just think that the energy frequencies through Earth right now is just rapidly changing or amplifying. Because within this last week or so, I I was able to deal with this tooth pain and everything else, but it's like amplified tremendously, even over antibiotics and stuff. And it's just like, and my arthritis has been acting up even more. So I mean, we've had a couple storms here and there, but nothing like previous months before.
Right. And I totally agree with that and believe it. The thing is to learn how to channel that energy in the direction that you need it to go. And if it's a physical healing, if it's the mind healing, in that way, Gigi with her
I'm sorry.
sometimes Gigi gets a little I don't understand her, but with the chonkas, is that what it's called? Chakras.
Chakras.
Yes, those things. I can kind of understand that because I did grow up knowing about this energy inside of us and how it can be used in different ways. And of course, the best way is for healing. And so it's how you direct it and manifest it to do the healing. You can also make
Right.
it do evil, so you just have to channel it where it needs to be.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, it's your inner chi. Inner chi. Chi
Yes.
is your energy.
And I don't know about that, but on my nightstand.
Well, it's basically about the same in a way, like how I was just saying how the human body transmits and receives, but I don't know. It's just hard to explain. Like the
Right.
elders of the Tibetan and the Asian, they a lot of them do that meditation with the chi, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that that's why everyone is, we see what's going on. Everyone is wide awake here. We know that things are not the way they should be. And
No,
so all of this that's going on is, like you said, a volcano erupting. So is that a possibility? I believe it is. I believe that people are at their precipice, and I believe that some will maybe advance on that energy that they have. And that's why sometimes you have to rein that in, and it's very hard to do. But then at times also I believe that it that can be to your benefit, that to change things the way they should be. So it's kind of a, I don't know, the scales are tipping. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you can look at it two ways. Either people are picking up Mother Earth's energy, that's that is transmitting from Earth. You know what I'm saying? And it's making them unease or
Right.
more tense, or it could be the other way around. Maybe Mother Earth's picking up people's energy, and that's why these volcanoes. You know what I'm saying? It just Earth transmits its energy not just through the ley lines, but just like along the tectonic plates and everything. I mean, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so you look at, I don't know, I guess I picked it up from superheroes maybe, or I don't know where I heard it, but what are the four elements? The earth, wind, fire,
Water.
wait, it's,
Earth,
right.
wind, fire, and water.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if what you're saying is true, so what if all of those elements are coming together to make a
Who
change?
remembers the Bruce Willis movie Fifth Element?
I do.
Vaguely.
I didn't see it.
Wow. The Fifth Element's a girl who is representational of the element of spirit.
Can I possibly throw in what I believe it might be, which is going to be kind of contradictory to what you all are talking about, and do it respectfully?
Yes.
I believe that it's just okay.
Oh, it's not my channel.
Okay, no, I
You're fine.
just want. Okay,
Go
as
ahead.
a born again Christian, I believe that the Earth has a cycle where it is going to eventually shut itself down, because it talks about in the Bible in the end times that there are going to be floods, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting. All at this, all at the same time. It's in the book of Daniel, it's in the book of Ezekiel, and it's in Revelations. So I just firmly believe that this is just the manifestation of prophecy that has already been foretold 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. Which I know some people are like, but
No, we all talk about that also, and I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, these things have been happening for how many years? Thousands?
yes,
of
but it
years.
talks about the increase in these events occurring towards the end times. It talks about how they're all going to not systematically. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for.
So is it end of these times, these evil times, and the beginning of something new?
Yes.
Perhaps?
Yes.
Because that's how I feel all this is going. I don't feel like this is I have complete and utmost trust that the future is bright, beautiful, and full of love. I've got zero fear on that front. I feel very, very strongly that after this period of tribulation, the other side of this tribulation looks phenomenal.
And that's where that part of it, I'm at peace with that. I mean, either way it goes. If I poof, that's okay with me. I don't have any problem with that part, the Christian part of it. But what I'm talking about is the evil. Shouldn't we do our part to fight that evil in every way, whether it's spiritually, physically?
Oh, this is all definitely a spiritual. This is
Absolutely.
everything that's going on right now. With it is definitely a spiritual fight. I agree with you 100% on that. And yeah, we should.
Okay. That
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I
You know,
don't
Bonnie,
think it has anything to do with our chakras, though. But that's me. I mean, that's just my opinion.
you was
Well,
talking about the four.
I think there are more connections, more commonalities for all the events and for all of us, even as individuals, right? I agree that we have all come together. We have been led together, drawn together, magnetized together for a reason and a purpose in this season of our lives. All of us are here for the now time that we are in.
Oh yeah, we're
And,
definitely all predestined
um,
for this time.
And I agree that we all have different roles to play in this. So I think that some people are going to understand things from a certain perspective, right? Due to what they were taught, how they were raised, the area of the world they live in. And other people are going to understand the same message translated differently according to their environment, their perceptions, their,
Okay.
things that they've lived through. So I think that makes us all invaluable members of a magnificent family, that we are all given the same message in the way that we know how to communicate it. And somebody out there understands your message better than they do mine. And it's the same message. You know what I mean?
To a degree, yeah, I can understand what you're saying. I'm very cautious about when I approach this, because I don't want to come across as pushy, rude, or disrespectful.
No, you
So
should
I'm
have
very
your opinion to your
Polish.
beliefs. That's the thing. That's the whole thing behind it. No,
There's my redheaded stepsister.
your opinion to
You
your
know,
That's the thing. That's the whole thing behind it. No,
I need
Yeah.
There's my redheaded stepsister.
Oh shoot!
you know,
Hello.
Bonnie, you
Here we go.
mentioned the four elements.
Did you get it muted now?
Yep.
Okay.
So the four elements. If you go talk to any Native American elder and ask their opinion about what's going on with Mother Earth right now, see what they say.
She's getting cleaned up.
She's
Yep.
Yeah.
I say she's. Mother is getting cleaned up.
Gaia,
How you doing, Monty?
whatever you want to.
I don't know.
We're
Did I
good.
echo again?
How's everybody doing?
I was gonna say hello, everybody. Bonnie, Monty, Mutt, Jeff, and Heather.
No.
I got a little bit of time in between with the pool.
Everybody in the chat.
It's been
Maria.
amusing with that. So it's slowly going down because it's only the garden hose. On the other end, I was draining it a lot with the filter hose because I wasn't going in that pool to try to unplug it at the bottom because it's pretty gross. So I let a whole bunch of water out in the grass, and I went, okay, I could finally undo it. And then literally my hose is taped to the pool to drain it. So it's fun. So yeah, I got to clean it as I go along. So, but I caught the end of the chakra thing. That's what I had posted. I went, oh, I heard somebody talk about chakras. You know me, Bonnie.
I'm in.
Ding, ding, ding. What do I hear? What do I hear? Okay. Sorry to interrupt. It got my attention. What was your thing on the
thoughts.
Yeah. What was your thing on the chakras? You don't understand or connect?
It's not that I don't understand them. I just don't think I don't buy into a lot of the Eastern religions, which is where a lot of, from what I understand, that's where a lot of the talk about chakras comes from.
Mm-hmm.
As a born again Christian, I don't necessarily A, understand it, or B, the things that I do understand, I don't necessarily agree with. Respectfully.
Now,
Okay.
hang on.
Nope. Hey, yep. Go ahead, Monty.
Jesus went and studied in India, and he studied Hinduism also. He studied all these religions. He knew about the chakras and in the energy flow.
I agree. He studied them all and came back. Everybody's going, well, he wandered wherever for how many years? He came back with all that insight, put it all together, and went, hey, I get it now. You, for me personally, and I fully get your view because I had a relationship with someone, and 20 years later, I contacted him again because of what I've realized is going on in the world and whatever. And we broke up because he became a born again. Because I played with tarot cards back then. And
that would be a no.
Yeah, exactly. So I've learned a lot. I've gone through a lot. I'm becoming more and more spiritually connected. Like I seriously think, with especially the energy that's going on and the way I'm sleeping and dreaming, I'm ready to really connect. For me, on my side, yes, God made us. We are connected to God. We are all energy. For me, your energy is inside of you. That's what you're made from. We're in this 3D world. When we are done with the 3D world, we will go back to our spiritual bodies again. So, take for example, when it rains. What happens after it rains? You see a beautiful rainbow. You see all the colors in the rainbow, right? So look at it as if energies could be all kinds of the colors, and that's what it all means, all colors of everything. It would make sense that inside of ourselves, we have all those colors inside of ourselves. But God made us special. God gave us a body that is so powerful and unique, and we don't realize it. We can connect to one another on an energetic level. And I think, to me, that's what Satan has kind of thrown around and manipulated certain things in the Bible, because they don't want you to realize that you connect to God in a special way. Your energy is there. We are connected. So that tidbit in the Bible for me is one of those passages to divert you from your true self again.
Which tidbit are you referring to?
That tarot cards are evil, that psychics are evil, or clairvoyants, anybody that has something that we can't explain right now because we don't understand it. Therefore, it's something from Lucifer, however you want to put it. That's the way it's put out there, that you're an evil thing. If you can connect to that, you must be connecting to a demon. Correct?
In a manner of speaking, you are somewhat correct. Yes, it has a lot to do with.
Let me say one more thing to that. Now, at the same time,
my 2 cents in?
Hang on. I don't want to lose my thought.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. I'm a good person. I grew up with astrology, astronomy, and all this, whatever, and I started doing tarot cards. Tarot cards are connecting with your inner soul, with your higher mind, which is connected to the one above. To me, Jesus did the same thing. He connected to his inner self. He learned that energy runs through him. As above, so below. You are connected to God in your own. Each one of us has like a silvery line, I like to call it, connected to God. Now, if you're a good person, you're going to use those tarot cards in a positive way for people, for helping people, giving them proper and good advice. If you are a negative person or one of those creeps in the dark cult, whatever, you're going to use those tarot cards to manipulate you. Go, you're cursed. I want money out of you, dig you in a hole and make you worse than you were when you walked in the door. That's why there's such a bad story behind the cards. It's like Burning of the Witches. Well, if you really go look at it, they weren't evil people. They were into herbs and doing good for people. But it's been put in the history that they were negative and they were Satanists. So we're going to, or working whatever, we're going to burn you at the stake because no. But yeah, if it's good for, if it's being done for evil purposes, yes, it's a negative thing. But it's just a tool to connect ourselves to those energies. Same like meditating. I don't need a deck of cards to connect with myself or anything like that. I connect with my inner self and I meditate. And I connect on a different level than sitting here and talking to you all. I go into a state and I'm somewhere else, literally. And I'm not going to say that's demonic. I'm sorry. I've done it where I've sat on a bench and my father showed up beside me. And of course, that kind of threw me out of my meditation because it kind of shot. But we are all able to connect. We just need to open up the eyes. Jesus made it so that believeth in me and you shall have everlasting life. Well, we've always had everlasting life. We are immortal. We continue on for forever as long as we are love. Love and 100% pure beings and doing right and doing good. Sorry, that's my end.
Oh, you're good. I mean, and that's the beauty of having these conversations and being able to have these conversations, is because there are more things that connect us than disconnect us. And we have to find those things. And I've looked at it a lot like this. God, and then, you know, Christ is the prism, right? God is the sunlight. Christ is the prism. We are the rainbow. We are the light reflected. You know, that Holy Spirit inside you, it is your soul. That's your God part. You know, that was, and we all were given those gifts, those spiritual gifts. And we have followed man rather than being connected to God. Now, that's not true for everyone, and I know that, and I realize that most of the people that hang around over here have their connection to God. It's safe, secure, and can't nobody or nothing mess with it. And that's my kind of people, right? And but here's what I'll say. I do also believe that there are more than one path in order to reach the destination.
For sure. We're all trying to get to the same end game, to the.
And I respect that, even though I disagree with it. I respect your right to believe that, but I also don't agree, because it states in the Bible that there's only one way, and that's through Christ.
Okay. I have an analogy for that.
I'm going to again repeat that I do respect your right to believe that.
Same as yours. And this is how we kind of, how shall I say?
Yep. That's how we move.
I try to throw out a different way of because there's always more than one way of perspective, shall we say, too. Like, for example, my question to this person that I know was, say down in Australia, you've got all those Aboriginal people in the forest, and they're still living there today, right? They have no Bible. They have no book. I don't know if they are praying on a God. I have no idea, whatever. But what bothers me is I'm being told that they're not going to cross over because they don't believe in Jesus. How could they don't know Jesus. I tell you, when they cross over, they're going to see the light. They're going to see God or Jesus, whatever else, because they're living a natural life and they're not doing anything wrong. Like, it just boggles me how people. I just think it's
May I respond to that?
Through, because there's so many cultures out there that probably have no religion at all. You know what I'm saying? Like old school people in the bush kind of idea. You follow me? I'm not talking about this race and this. I'm talking people that are still living out in yeah.
I
ahead.
understand what you're saying. May I respond to that?
Go ahead.
It all, and I'm going to revert back to I'm going to revert back to the Bible again and state that it says in there that Christ will not appear a second time until every man has been reached. By man, they mean every race, creed, color. So even those who are out in the bush will have an opportunity.
Well, who's giving them the Bibles?
What? There are missionaries.
I don't mean to be saucy. I mean serious. Like how?
I'm just saying that is, and I'm trying to also understand your viewpoint and state that in my belief, in my understanding of what I've read in the Bible.
Right.
Okay. Let me clarify that this is my understanding. I may be off the mark. That I don't believe that Christ is going to come back again until everyone is reached. And be it, I get off the couch and walk to wherever and present, Christianity to that person or that group of people, then it until that happens, there's not going to be the second coming is what I believe. And I didn't mean to turn this into this huge religious.
Oh no. I'm happy to have this kind of conversation with somebody, to be honest.
Okay. I want to say one thing completely unrelated.
We love to have conversations.
Well, I worry that, again, I have a bit of a reputation here on YouTube for being a bit abrasive, as you were warned, and I don't want to come across that way.
I would enjoy you coming onto my show in the evenings and having this kind of a conversation. Seriously, I'm very serious on this because
I would be glad to.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw that little bit in because you're saying everyone has to, and I get that point. For one, that would take an eternity, because how would you ever get 100% in this world to turn, especially when everybody's got so many differences of religions?
Okay.
But I get the point. But my way of looking at it, in agreement of what you're saying,
okay,
is that there's going to come a time that God's going to send down energy to everyone, and then everyone's minds will awaken. They do not need a Bible to awaken. It will be through their own God centers, their own energy, and in their souls and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. I think somewhere in the future, everybody, something's going to happen, kind of thing. Whether I don't know. We are in the midst of all this negative. And we're pushing and we're all connecting for something forward and something positive. And I think at some point, God's just going to flick the light on to all of us. Don't necessarily need Jesus coming as a second coming. To me, it's almost maybe a metaphorical thing, because the love of Jesus is coming. So not maybe him in a body form, but maybe him in a spiritual essence form that turns that opens the world.
It states in the Bible that he is going to make a physical second return and set up his kingdom here on earth, on the new earth, after this earth is destroyed through fire, be it through a volcano, Armageddon, or a combination thereof.
Right. More fear. Sorry.
No. Again, we're just discussing our differences, and I respect that.
No, I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry, that's why I went. Sorry.
By the way, I did put my email in the private chat so that you could have it. If you wanted to set that up, where I could, where we could have a discussion on your channel as well.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. I will do that. Oh, wow! Isn't that funny?
What's that?
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Can I ask what month you're born in?
I was born in the month of February, and yes, there is a reason that. Yeah. Why do you ask?
You're the same age as. I assume it's correct. I'm just saying you're the same age as the other person I know. How interesting.
Bonnie, go ahead.
Um, I'm sorry, I had to take a break and make some calls, trying to get a
Yes,
package
Griswold.
delivered. Uh, one of
How's
the
your mom?
questions I heard is, how do you get the word to everybody, even in the deepest, where they don't even, some people don't even know their language. Um, my aunt and uncle were missionaries for about 20 years at least, and they were going to those places. There
Yep.
and they're not the only ones. There are hundreds of people who do that. And so the word is being spread. And also, to back that up, there is a book out there, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. I was trying to find it, but they did this one man. He went to all these places, like deep in Africa, deep in um, wherever, places that people don't go, and in all of those, every near death experience was exactly the same. So how can you explain that?
Who was that question directed to?
Anybody?
That was in general. Okay.
Because
Sorry.
You and I seem to be in the similar vein, so I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, go ahead. I don't really have an answer for that that I can put into a small enough context for the amount of time that we have.
it has to be God. I mean, they are all experiencing the same thing. And okay, y'all were talking about movies. There is a movie that is called Heaven is for Real or something like that.
Yep.
You watch that and you will see here's these two people on opposite ends of the earth, and the little boy, he had the near death experience, and that may be where I got the name of that book. It's through that movie, but and then here's this woman on the other side of the earth, and she drew the picture that the boy described. He saw the picture on his father's computer, and he said, "That's him. That's Jesus." And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because there is no way that
Yep.
little boy
That's
could
your
have.
truth ringing through you. Sorry.
Exactly, because that little boy saw Jesus. There is no doubt in my mind, and so did that woman that painted that picture. And they saw him as an earthly form. So could it be a vision even as an earthly form? I'm not real sure about that, but yes, I understand what you're saying about the Bible, and um, even though there's things that have been kept from us, and if that is what has led us to Jesus and where we need to be to make it to heaven, which is all of our goals, are
Yep.
then so be it. You know, whether it's right or wrong, it has still brought us to the spirituality that we need to be in. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I think that a lot of where people, and I'm just as guilty, so let me clarify that up front. There are parts of the Bible that were taken out by Constantine at the Council of I believe it was Nicaea. And that's where a lot of confusion comes from, because those sections have been removed, so we no longer have the full context. And I think that, again, that's really where I think a lot of the confusion comes in. I am in the process now of getting the Apocryphy, I believe is, and I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but those are I think it's 13
Apocrypha.
books. Yeah, I believe that's the 13 books or so that were taken out by Constantine at Nicaea. And I think that again, it's my belief and solely my belief. Hi, Grizz. Um, that's where a lot of the confusion comes in. Even for myself, I'm not. By no means am I saying that I'm a biblical scholar. That would be my mother, not me. Um, so
Never mind.
until I can get my hands on that and plug in the missing pieces, I don't have all the answers.
No, I don't think we have.
I just wanted.
I don't think I'll ever have all the answers,
Well-
but I'm far better educated than I am now once I have those 13 books.
I just need
Now,
to intervene
can I just
for
say
1
something?
minute because I got to get to my pool for a minute. I just want
Go
to
ahead,
address
honey.
that LHS said, do I think it's like opening the door for evil to come in? I assume we were talking about tarot cards because this is way long ago.
Yeah, I believe
no.
that.
See, and that's the misconception. You can only let evil in if you want to let evil in to begin with. Now, I will say
But that's
about
a-
Ouija
but that- but
boards, you
see,
should not play with
We
Ouija
believe that
boards.
that's a doorway.
Right, and it's not because you are connecting with yourself.
All right.
You are putting a
Well, that's like
flaring,
saying
like you're
pot
doing
is a
a-
gateway drug.
I would say that it is.
I would say that it
Alcohol
isn't, and I would
Well-
argue that.
Well, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying. I'm
No.
expressing my
I'm
opinion.
saying I personally, because
Right.
Look what
Back in a minute.
there's a whole bunch of scientific stuff behind it, and there's a whole lot of spiritual stuff behind it, and there's even God stuff behind it.
Yeah.
As to why I would argue that, okay, but I do understand for some people it is, but those people already have addictions, and what they are doing is switching addictions, not learning a new gateway, and I think it is misinterpreted that way a lot of times and not seen clearly. So
I
that's
can
just
see
my
your point
opinion
in
on that.
I can see
But,
I can see your point in that.
Right. So, but as to what Bonnie was saying, I wanted to say this. What I heard is we are all connected. Like basic bottom line, and we are. And no matter
As it used to.
what, here's one thing, like you guys were talking about how you were quoting about the Bible and about every man will know, right? And
Yep.
Bonnie was saying the people across the world. We are all connected. Even the people you don't want to be connected to, guess what? You're connected. You're part of the web of life that the Creator made. We are
There's no getting
all
away from it.
connected. The Holy Spirit connects each and every one of us. Our souls are connected on a vibration that none of us even have a clue about. Jesus knew. He tried to teach it not with doctrine, but by example.
I agree with that. I don't disagree with you on that either. Again, I stand.
But at the same time, like I said, and I know I see things a lot different than a lot of people. But if you think about God as the light, Christ is the prism, and we are the reflection of God's light. We are His creations. We are all a reflection of that light. And we might all be on different bands of the spectrum, right? But we're all connected by that.
Yep.
And I think I think a big misconception, I know how we got here, so I'm going to wrap back around to it real quick. What brought that up for me to say that again is that, we were talking about chakras and things like that. And I understand a lot of those teachings. That's the thing about teachings. Okay. It's a game of rooster. You remember that? You remember that when you were a kid, you'd all sit around in a circle and you'd whisper something into somebody's ear and it'd go around. And by the time it got back to you, it was a completely different sentence.
Oh, telephone. Okay, yeah, we called it
Telephone,
telephone.
Yeah, there you
rooster.
go.
I've
Yeah,
heard it called a bunch
I've
of
never heard it called rooster, so that's yeah. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that game. When we talk about teachings of any sort, it is that game to an extent. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's why that connection, that personal connection to the creator is the most vital thing. And people who the energy centers that are in us are a very real thing. And the teachings about them I worry about. But I know those energy centers are in there. And I know that those are my inner prism, so to speak. They're kind of that light key to opening that connection. And some people go through the light bands, and some people have to go through a different channel, right? The Bible works as a prism for a lot of folks. For some people, it does not. Holy books of other religions work as their light band, their rainbow, the rainbow road that you go over into the better land, right? You think about this, that they have always told us the truth in some form, okay? And you wonder why Dorothy crossed over a rainbow to get into Oz. And you think about here's the other thing, and it's that kind of like that mirror image thing, okay? And that's,
I apologize for chuckling.
There's
There's
good and bad. Well, and I'm only making this reference to make a point, and here's my point. There's good and bad anywhere you go, right? In any group of people, in any race, culture, religion, location on earth, in any sect or religion, in no matter where you look, there will always be good folks and not so good folks, right? There's always going to be those people, those in service to self and those in service to others. And so when we search people, and when I say search, I use the word search because when you search somebody, you're not casting a judgment on them. You're trying to get a feel for them. And I think it's important that people recognize there is a difference and learn how to use it. And I think that non-judgment and attitude of gratitude are two of the keys that open that connection to your creator. And I believe that, I believe in prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. I've seen it work. It's miraculous. And I've seen other things work.
We agree on more than we disagree on.
Exactly.
We just disagree. Okay, I have a very, very basic. This is the way that I approach my Christianity. It's my personal relationship with my Creator. And I use the Bible, which I translate to mean basic instructions before leaving Earth. Yes, it's campy, but it works. It is and that is basically the very basics of my core beliefs. I know it says in no man coming to the Father except through me, and I believe that. And I know that there are people out there who think that there are multiple paths. You're entitled to believe that.
I probably missed lots, didn't I?
As long as but as long as we can have these kinds, and I go back to this again, as long as we can have these kinds of conversations civilly and we can learn from each other, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. And it's just like you said, and people need to start realizing that that's why these conversations are important, because that's where people start to see we really do have more in common than we have different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe
Go ahead, Bonnie.
Bonnie's
Thank you. It does work. Okay. Let me process everything that was just said. But I agree with you. I hate calling you that. That sounds horrible. But
no, it's my nickname. I don't. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
My
I
nickname.
used to say I was a mutt with pride. I'm an American mutt. I'm a blend of so
I'm
many
a
different
Celtic.
things.
I'm a Canadian mutt.
I am a Celtic American mutt, and I am proud of my heritage. I'm Scottish, English, Irish, Welsh, with a and a smidgen of Britannian French, which is the only French Celtic nation left.
Right, we're the melting pot.
Yeah,
So-
I hold
Yeah, see,
and
I'm
mutt. I don't
Scottish.
take that as an insult at all.
Okay.
At all.
So what if it's like, okay, because I have had to learn to have a very open mind.
Right.
6 kids, grandkids, different people around the world, everything. So what if it's like when you're teaching a classroom of children, some of those children you have to teach in different ways.
Mhm.
So yes, what you said, only through Christ do you get to heaven. I agree with that. But what if some people, it takes a different sort of way to grasp that? Does that make sense?
So what you're saying? Well, let me see if I understand what you're saying. They can believe what you and I say we believe,
Right.
but they have a different way of learning it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Are experiencing it, or reaching that point.
Well, everyone has a different way of. I mean, I'm a very tactile learner. I'm not one who can read and learn something quickly. I'm dyslexic. So everyone has a different way of learning. So I don't disagree with that at all. As long as I just believe that the core tenets, no matter how you learn it, have to be the same. They all have to be, in order to. And I'm hesitant to say it this way but I don't know any other way to say it. In order to be classified as a Christian, there are certain core tenets, and however you learn those tenets, that's fine. I know people who learn through theater. I know people who learn through music, or but the core has to remain the same. Am I covering what you're saying, or am I completely losing you?
No, I understand. Am I echoing?
No, you're good. I did want to clarify one thing. The reason I chuckled at the Wizard of Oz comment is that I have had, God rest his soul, had a great uncle that was one of the Munchkins. So whenever it gets mentioned,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is
I
awesome.
I actually know where the backup ruby slippers are. Let me put it that way. And yes, there were 2 pair.
Oh wow, cool.
The ones that are in the Smithsonian are the originals that she did wear in the movie, but I happen to know where the backup pair are. I'm just saying.
That's really cool. Little living history for you.
Well, I got to throw in the history.
Of course, it's important.
Well, but if we think back to, you think about anything, right? It's even fairy tales that you learned as a child. There's a kernel of truth in there, and yes, there's darkness added because they did that on purpose. But if you have the spirit of discernment, you can see the truth for what it is.
Excuse me.
No, absolutely. Again, like I just said, we all have different ways of learning. As long as we all get to the same.
Yeah,
endpoint.
different paths.
Yeah.
Same destination.
Yep.
And I know what you were saying, and I understand what you're saying about one way. But if all roads lead to God, and you're on your road, you're not going to see my road. You're watching your road.
Yep.
Right? And I don't mean that in any way disrespectful of that statement. I just because we all have to take different roads to get where we have to go. We all have to experience life the way we have to experience it to learn the lessons that we need. in order to proceed down that road.
Okay, but we can all use the same lamp.
I don't know about that.
Well, again, personal belief and personal opinion.
But it comes kind of back to the idea we all want to have the same lamp, but there's so many different religions out there that have all their own different ways of getting to the lamp again. You follow what I'm saying? There should be one God, one understanding,
Yep.
with no bunch of rules. This is here's a food for thought. I said this the other day on a different podcast. What if when Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, that the tree of knowledge was the changing
Tree of knowledge of
our
good and
view.
evil. To clarify, the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Okay. When she ate it, maybe our whole entire world was transformed at that point into Satan being able to manipulate everything in front of us. So now we are at the precipice where the whole truth and the whole real reality is going to be switched over. And we're going to find out all kinds of things where Satan has stuck his little fingers in and left. I mean, look at our storybooks. They're all
he is
terrible
the father
fear
of,
stories.
he is the
They're all
father of
fear
lies,
stories.
and he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So yeah, I mean, absolutely that he's going to distort the story.
Everything.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is the whole world is distorted since that point.
Yeah, because we as a people, and by we as a people, I mean anyone born, because of the fall of Adam and Eve.
Right, but this is where I want to kind of get you to open the idea, possibility that the Bible words have been manipulated. How many times has the Bible been translated by humans? We all know how many chapters were taken out. The Book of Muhammad was thrown over to, sorry, I got wasps whipping around my head again. Muhammad was separated and put over like it was a whole separate thing. But all these chapters, all these things were all in one book together.
No, that's where you're wrong.
And it's getting
not to be disrespectful. That's the misconception that people have of the Bible. It's not one book. It's 66 separate books and letters.
Right. But what I'm
not
saying
a single book. It was all, they were all conglomerated.
Okay, that's okay. I'm sorry. I guess
it's actually more than that.
Wrong. I'm sorry. I stated it wrong. I'm saying
what we
that
refer to
it has
as
been
the Bible, minus the missing 13.
Right.
Yes, you're right. It was more than 66.
Right. I'm just saying it's been manipulated by translation after translation, cut up to pieces, whatever else. How do we know what is really true in that book when you want to go back 2,000 years? It's like when you sat in a class in grade 2 and somebody was given a sentence. By the time it came around to the other side, it wasn't even near the same as the first it started with. So in translation, it can be manipulated. And then I'm just saying, food for thought. What if there's some actual nasty people that turned around and went, well, we're going to put this in there. We're going to put more fear into them. We're going to put this in here. So we're going to fear them. So they'll never think that they can get a hold of God. They never think that they can get to the other side. And we got them all to ourselves down here for forever because they have no idea that they have their free will to get out of this. Because there's so many manipulations.
If that were the case, then Christianity would not be the second largest religion on the planet.
But Christianity's also got, I hate to say this because you're not going to probably believe this for a word, and forgive me for saying this, but there are numerous churches that are run by Satanists, and we do not know it, and that's part of what's going to come out in the whatever. But I don't want to.
All right, wait, time out.
Hold on. I'm going to shock you. I'm going to shock you and tell you I actually agree with you.
Ooh, okay,
Okay, Monty.
And this is how
Monty, you're up.
Monty, yes.
All right. So, the Bible's not even 2,000 years old, people. The Bible was created in 336 AD. And it's been interpreted over 5,000 ways. That's all I'm saying.
And that's why I did say it's been manipulated. It's been translated. So
I'm
I
not
did
saying
have one other
manipulated.
thing
I'm
to add
just
to
saying
that.
interpreted.
Yes.
I-
Yes.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
interpreted over 5,000
Right.
words.
Yeah, because there's been different
So
languages and whatnot too,
And that's
and
where
depending on
that
the interpreter
major
and how
word
he's.
comes in.
Sorry, Bonnie.
That's where
if
that
anyone looks
major
back,
word comes in.
The which word?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I didn't hear you say the first word. The which word?
Discernment.
Yeah. See, the
I
thing,
I
like,
didn't catch that.
You
What
have
word was she?
to discernment because
Oh, discernment.
that's
Yes, absolutely. No, I
where
agree with that 100%.
yes,
when you have the Holy Spirit in you, you will know it. And that is
No
where
argument here.
that's what your
Mhm.
goal is. How do
Right.
you get to
100%
that
agree with
goal?
that.
I'm not saying I am not saying I'm not a sinner. Y'all see me smoking. I'm sitting here smoking. It's just I don't even know how to explain, but I do know that I believe I was saved, and ever since then it's been and I have been to multiple churches. You mentioned the churches. Okay, look in the Bible and see what happens to those churches. So I don't agree with organized religion, but what we're doing right here, this is church. When you are sitting and you are speaking of the word and you are talking to God and Jesus, that to me, that is church. It can be under a tree, it can be in your own home, it can be your own personal relationship with God. That whatever it is that gives you that the peace of the Holy Spirit, that is
Peace that passes understanding.
Amen.
thank you.
I don't disagree
it.
with that. And again, I don't want to come across as being,
Nope, not at all.
closed-minded. I just, I'm very, very staunch in my belief that, first of all, I hate the word religion. Religion that word irritates me because
We are agreed.
it has
It's-
been manipulated and distorted and bastardized beyond belief. And that's why I choose to say that I don't have a religion. I have a relationship.
That's
And
how
I
it goes. That's how it's supposed
and
to be.
that, and I
We
think
said
that
that.
when God, Christ took 12 men and changed the entire world. He started with 12 men.
so the
And
Bible
off of those
says.
12 men that we have, they have spread the word of Christianity throughout, the planet, basically.
But even in the beginning, they were lying about it too. So that's human nature.
I'm not saying that there weren't. I'm not saying that there weren't, mistakes made.
Yeah.
There weren't any.
I'm just trying
there were
to
no
mention the
mistakes made
point
by
that-
Christ. But
Sorry,
As far
I
as-
feel
as
that
far as-
manipulation of words could be possible again. That's all.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all.
yeah, I could see that, or and not even necessarily a manipulation of words. I have learned recently that there are things that I believed meant one thing in the Bible, but because I didn't understand the original context and didn't take the time to study it, I had misinterpreted it. Not intentionally,
Yeah, we all do. I
but
think.
through my own lack of knowledge, didn't learn what it really meant until recently.
I have
Because
one
we're
little
always
question, and then I gotta
continuously
go.
growing.
Because I don't know what time zones everybody else is in, but it's 3:37, and I have to get.
It's
to school and
3:37 where
all
I'm
that.
at. Yep.
Oh, okay. So here's my little tidbit on food for thought. So, thou shalt honor thy mother and father. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What if one of your parents, both your parents, are abusive or turn out to be a killer? How do you honor or whatever? Like, I had to let go of a parent in the last couple of years because enough, emotional and whatever. I can't take it anymore. You bring me down to such done. I can't. So now I'm would be considered a sinner because I have no respect for this person anymore.
Right.
So how do you follow the Bible with that? Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. So now I'm not getting into heaven according
Okay,
to how
let me give you what I think that how my personal belief on that. You have to put what Christ says as far as following him before you do your parents. If they're going against what he says, then absolutely you do not. And I'm going to use a phrase here that's referring to taxes, but you don't render under Caesar what is Caesar's if Caesar is not following the edicts of Christ.
Okay,
Very good
can
point.
I insert something
Very good point.
here real quick?
Go for it.
The basis of every religion, and I'm air quoting here,
Right.
the basis of every religion around the world, every religion, the basis is to love thy neighbor or love thy brother or love thy fellow man or do no harm. It all is the same thing. It all boils down to that. And I brought that up to say this. We are required to love them, not to like them.
That's right.
Nothing
enough.
other than love of a human being is the requirement.
You can boil the 10 Commandments down to love thy neighbor as thyself and love thy God with all thy mind, soul, heart, and body.
Right.
You can knock the 10 down to 2, because if you do those 2, the other 8 are going to follow suit.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I still love this person. I forgive them and everything else for it. And it's taken a long time for me to get past that hurdle.
If that parent is doing something that is wrong and it goes against what Christ says, sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
I have something to inject into that. As coming from a really bad childhood, the key right there is to have enough love in your heart to forgive. You don't have to like what they did. You don't have to agree with what they did, but to save yourself, because that will eat you alive. You have to forgive.
It's spot on, Bob.
Number 1, to forgive is divine. Isn't that the saying?
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of hard to forgive when, say, for instance, this is through the eyes of my daughter. She's mad at her mom for her mom killing her grandmother. Okay?
Yeah.
You understand that?
Goodness.
Yeah.
And I understand the hatred she has for her mother.
Yeah.
How do you get that forgiveness?
She needs to find peace within her own self.
She's
You
16
have to
years
make
old.
peace with that herself.
Guys,
Exactly.
I want to address something real quick in chat. You forgive people not for them, not for their sake,
Not for their sake.
but for the sake of your own spirit. You don't forgive for them. It's not for them.
Yes.
Only they can forgive themselves.
They've twisted that too.
They cannot. They can accept
You
your
do not
forgiveness,
have to walk up to
but
them.
they don't have to ask for it for you to have a forgiving heart.
Okay, hold up. I cannot forgive my cousin for what when he molested me, so I'm not going to forgive him.
But you need
Okay,
to.
I didn't say
That's
that
where
you had to.
that's where you're at in your walk then, and that's been there, done that. I got the ticket and the T-shirt to prove it, so I get what you're saying. Okay, not about molestation. I had other issues, but I had to work through those things in my own heart and in my own mind through time to come to the point where I can say, you know what, it's not worth that energy for me to stay this mad at that person for what they did to me. What I'm saying is that's part of your personal walk. That's something you have to walk through. You have to come to the point where you're ready to deal with that.
And I understand that, and I've come a long ways from.
That person. You don't have to walk up to that person to forgive them. You don't have to
Nope.
even talk to them and tell them that you've forgiven them. But you need to feel it in your heart, because that anger and your 16-year-old daughter, is that who you were talking about? I understand that it is going to take her years to get to that point. I've been there, but
I know.
for you yourself, and if you can talk to her about it too, that anger is like a cancer, and you have to find out how to get rid of that. And I'm telling you, it's forgiveness.
If
My
anger
mother
lives in
and
your
I
heart, it
had
turns to
a
bitterness.
horrible, yes,
I'm
we
gonna
had a
inter-
horrible relationship, and I blamed her for everything. And now, for the past 5 years, I would do anything in the world for her. I don't, no matter what she did or didn't do, I forgive her, and I love her. She's my mother.
Oh boy, yeah, here he is. It always seems to be the mothers, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys have got me to tears.
No, I'm a mama's boy, so it's not
Oh,
always the mamas.
Listen, I think
Money. Hang on
No,
one
for a
second,
lot
because
of us
I'm already
women,
like,
there are some other issues. Every generation, I think
yep.
so.
And now I feel like I got a
We have
kick in
to
the
work
back,
past
a kick in
those.
the ass for my own daughter. Money, I want to just keep this for food for thought, okay? Anger is very hard to let go of, but it will
I
fester in
know.
you for a long time if you don't let it
I,
go. And you
I
have to
know.
start putting yourself in that, unfortunately. Put yourself in the other shoes. What was done to that person? Oh my goodness, I got chills going through me. That person might have gone through hell too, and you might not have known it. And that person before them, and that person before them. This has been going on for a long time, and we are the souls that are here now to break it. Satan is getting out of this earth, and I believe it because I'm starting to feel better. So
That same
think hard
cousin
and
got
truly.
his.
You really got
That
to.
same. That same cousin got his 10-year-old stepdaughter pregnant years later,
oh
just
my
because nothing was ever done. When I went to my grandmother and the whole family, the only ones that believed me was my uncle, my dad, my mom, and my older brother. Okay, because I
You're
seen
not
what he was starting to
alone.
do to my because I seen what he was starting to do to my younger brother, and that's why I started speaking up. And my grandmother called me a shit starter and a liar, and nothing was ever done to that person to get him help or anything. And back then, I went through this from the ages from 3 to 8. Okay, and back then it wasn't openly talked about. You didn't go to psychiatrist or therapist or anything else like that because it was always hush hushed. It was always swept under the fucking rug. Sorry for the language. So yes, I have
It
came a
was
long
in our
ways.
generation, Monty. You're right. It absolutely
I
was
have-
in our
Correct. It was
generation.
in our generation.
For lots of
Yes.
us.
Anything
All right.
I was
Can
taken
I
to a
finish?
psychiatrist too, and my mother was told, "Well, if you can't get your husband in here, we can't do anything about this." And that was the end
All
of
right.
that. This is like,
I'm
what?
gonna
Yeah,
finish. I have come a long ways from where I was in my head and my heart. Okay, and a lot of people see that, and a lot of people know that. That's why if you that's why I tend to joke around and clown around a little bit more, so I don't really
you and me both.
I
fall
need to
back
step
to
away for
that.
just a minute,
To,
but I will
to,
be right
to,
back.
to fall back on that bad
That's what all
experiences, I guess
comedians
you'd
are
say.
about. Look at Robin Williams and all of those comedians. What are they
I
like
know.
deep down inside? You know what I mean? We all do that. It's a stress relief too. And sometimes now, bringing up hard discussions, we make light little jokes just to try to ease, because we don't want that tension. We don't want the argument, and we're not. We are in the world getting to a better place. So it's taken time. It's taken time.
It took my daughter almost 2 years to even talk to me about her feelings.
Yeah,
She
and it's going to take a while, hon.
Yeah.
No, I know, but she told me a lot of them, and we sat right down here when I finally got to see her after 2 years. That because we started talking about it, and she openly talked to me for over an hour and a half on the phone. I mean, and I totally understand her views, and I also told her the same advice what everybody else says. You not exactly about the forgiveness part, but can't let it. Well, can't let it keep inside of you. It's better to talk with someone because if
Yep.
not, it does fester inside of you. Trust me, I've
Yes, Monty.
I kept a lot of that inside of me forever, and then finally, a lot of it all boiled down to when the mother of my children was trying to keep them away from me and everything else, and I literally tried to off myself 3 times, and I was turned back into drugs then and stuff all at the same time, and it took me a while to climb back out of that dark spot. So I do know
But you did.
Yep.
Yeah,
One day at a time, one
yeah,
step at a time.
I can't say I'm 100%,
Exactly.
but I'm a lot better than where I was, and that was back in
Like
2016.
Mutt was saying, it does. It takes time. But it still takes time.
Someone's
Right, Monty.
got
But
an
look at
echo.
the strength you got to it.
I don't
I know.
mean to be rude, guys, but I really need to go. Sorry, I will catch
All
some
right.
of these
Thank
all
you,
later on
Gigi.
tonight, whatever. But I gotta get going. Dinner in the pool's like half drained. I love
Later,
you all.
Red.
God
Take care.
bless. Take care.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Monty, do you watch Jeff Riddell's Friday show?
Do what?
Do you watch Jeff Riddell's Friday show
Yeah, I
that
go
he
up
has
on
on
the panel.
Fridays? Oh, okay. And so we are all there for you. If you need to talk, if you need to get it out, whatever. No one judges. I have not seen very many that judge anybody on these channels. I haven't seen a whole lot of that. But if you need to talk, I can give you my email number, whatever you need, and I'll listen because I know how hard that is. But you have come so far, and that's what you need to realize. You're stronger than you think you are. You climbed out of that. I was there. I know. It takes. I'm sorry, but I feel that it takes God.
Jeff, I know you can't change the past, brother, and I know you have, like what your comment said, you have to move on. I understand that, and I also read your other one, and I love you too, Riddle. And if it wasn't for your show, I've only given my testimony one other time about my drug addiction, and that was at the NA meeting here in my town. Other than that, saying it, speaking it in front of I don't know how many viewers on YouTube, across the whole world. That was the first time I ever got up on your show, Jeff, and actually gave that testimony, and I felt a lot better then. And even I don't like to mention my past bad experiences like what I was just talking about. I don't like to mention that very often because I don't like to bring everybody down, this and that. But it helps me. It helps me getting it off my chest. Not only that, but it also helps me. It helps me to communicate with other people to let them know that I can relate to them from such bad things that's happened in their lives. Okay.
Exactly.
Monty, you
may
help
be
more
helping
people than
somebody
you know.
else.
Every time you speak, you're
Yes.
not just helping yourself, you're helping other people that may or may not have gone through it. And
Yes.
and I agree
know,
with
and
you.
I think
Jeff Riddle has he has the manner which makes you comfortable to testify, to give your story to help others.
All right. So I'd been watching these shows on YouTube on my Roku for months, right? Ever since January 6th or November 3rd. But I never got into chat until
Right.
2 or 3 months ago. Now, here's the thing.
And you
Like,
took over.
yeah, I understand what Riddle's saying is I'm helping more people. Who knows? Maybe this is why God had me get up on YouTube and chat, because, you know, I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to help them through their addictions, help them through
And
their
this might be
problems,
how you do it.
as long as they're willing to talk about their problems. So,
And that's how you
Yep.
dump that baggage, Molly, too. Every
I know.
time you talk about it, you're shedding more of that gunk that needs to just go.
well, I don't.
Now,
I just
I
don't
want to
want
address
people to
something real
think
quick. Real quick, I'm
I just-
sorry, Monty. I want to just Jeff Riddle. You don't realize how many people you have touched just by speaking your own truth, just like Monty is.
tremendously.
You are
And I
in
love
big
you, brother.
part why we decided to start a channel. We watched your answer the call video one night after months of watching Liberty and you and Craig and before we chatted, just like Monty, we watched long before we chatted, long before we became part of this family. And I thank you, sir. I appreciate you, not just your service, but you as a person being brave enough to speak your truth so that others could follow that shining example and speak their truth. And this is how we help each other. Because not
Absolutely.
one of us is alone. All of us have experienced some similar trauma of some sort, and we are all driven together for a reason. And I see and feel God's hand in that every day, every single time I talk to any one of you beautiful people, I feel that. Go ahead, Monty. I'm sorry, hon.
Oh, that's what I was gonna. That's basically what I was gonna say. I was just gonna put this out there. I just want to lay it out there that, or put it out there that to let other people know that they're not alone, and that they don't have to deal with it by themselves, as long as they're willing to discuss or open up about it. When I first got up on Riddle's show and stuff, I was in chat quite a few weeks. When he first started the Sobriety Friday, and it went from there. So, I mean, for me to be up on panel like I am right now and talking this regular, it's taken me a little bit. And kind of like what I was telling Dreamweaver when he said he was nervous opening up his channel and beginning to talk. I was like, I told him, I was like, you get over it though, eventually. You get over the nervousness of talking. And I don't know. I love all of our great big family. I love every one of y'all. And people just need to know that they're not alone, and they don't have to experience any of this by themselves.
Exactly,
I would
Monty.
like to say one thing if I could. If
By
anybody,
all means.
and I mean this, if anybody ever needs an ear to bend, hit me up. You can find me on. You can email me at CelticMutt1970 at Gmail, CelticMutt1970 at Proton. I'm going to open myself up here a little bit. I know I don't know most of you all that well, but I'm a 5-time survivor of attempted suicide. And I say I'm a survivor because, well, I'm still here, and I couldn't even get that right. That's a little humor there. I lost a kid. I lost my first daughter 9 years ago. I lost my second daughter just over 3 years ago. And that traumatized me to the point that I ended up down a very dark rabbit hole. So, if anybody needs, and if anybody understands that kind of darkness and that kind of depression, it's me. If you need just somebody to yell at, I'm your guy. If you need somebody to, just spew whatever it is you're holding in, I'm your guy. So I just wanted to make that offer.
Right. I hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I just wanted
LHS.
hi. I just wanted to come on and tell you, Monty, I love you.
I love you too.
I love you. It's hard. It really is. When you guys started going down this, got off the religion and went down this one, you hit home. And like I put in chat, when I called in here on Sunday, I think it was Sunday, wasn't it, Heather?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've told anybody in my court-ordered, counseling what was going on with me. And it's nice to have people that understand, because I live with somebody that doesn't understand. He thinks that, you can take care of that on your own. You don't need anybody else. What do you got to go to counseling for? He doesn't understand the whole aspect of the addiction and the road it takes you down and the way it makes you feel. And
But you're not
the
alone.
loneliness. I know.
Right.
The loneliness you do feel. Because I was always a happy-go-lucky, laughing person. My friends never even knew what was going on with me. None of them. Until, in 2015, until I wound up in the hospital with a drug overdose. Nobody knew. Nobody. And then I really found out who my friends were, because most of them didn't want anything to do with me after that. And I don't think it was, and I don't think it was for the fact of what I did and what I was doing. I think I think it showed them what could happen to them. I think that's really what it was.
That fear, that makes people afraid when they see that in other folks that they don't think about that being a thing. And so I think right back to it, us sharing our stories and being able to talk about these things with each other. We're not just supporting each other, but we're supporting people out there who are listening, who we don't even know are listening, that needed to hear something we've said. Go ahead, Monty.
LHS?
Yes.
I thought that was you.
Can you hear? Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't tell because the thing that's on the bottom, it's not showing our names. I totally understand. I love you all. I'm going to be getting off here and going to Riddles.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Everybody heads to Riddles at 4, and it's 4:02.
Is it
I'll let y'all later.
4:02?
Yes.
Thank you, Monty.
In LHS, as a parent, I want to tell you that if that was my child, I would be the worst, overprotective, psycho, crazy mother with that child, because I would be so afraid that it would happen again. So there could be something of that in it too.
Well, yes and no. My mom actually has been dealing with dementia for the last 6 years.
Oh.
So that's part of it. And I have a stepdad. My real dad passed away when I was 35. I had never met him until I was 25. So,
Wow.
but when I called, well, the first incident, my family did not know about. The one that I told you about Sunday, Heather, my family does know about that one. And they don't call to see if I'm okay. If they don't hear from me for months, they don't call to see if am I still alive? Am I in jail? Where am I?
That's my
Nothing.
family too.
I mean, I've gotten used to it. I mean, and that's sad to say, but I've gotten used to it because I really don't have any full-blooded relatives left except my mom right now.
I'm sorry, hon. And it is hard.
I know.
That's
I know. I bet my
But you got us
fiance's
now, girl.
parents- Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
But my fiance's parents, I love them to death. I actually told them about what was going on with. I told my own family. So, but like I told you guys, like, a lot. I was so nervous when I called Sunday. So nervous. I thought I was gonna throw up. Because it's that
You
fear
did
of
fine,
putting
though.
stuff out. It's that fear of putting stuff out there, and people judging you for it. Because I've had that happen many times.
So
People
have I.
find out, and
So have I.
and all of a sudden it's like you're a leper.
But you
And-
know what that fear comes from? LHS,
What's
you want me
that?
to tell you what that fear
Where?
comes from? When we fear being
Where?
judged, it means we're still judging ourselves and we haven't forgiven ourselves.
True.
That's what
True.
that's what
I'm
my
getting there,
opinion is on that. Yeah, and
I mean,
it takes support to have self-love. It really does. A lot of
it
times.
does. And if
Have a good day,
I mean,
Crystal.
although my fiance does not totally understand the whole addiction thing and everything, he's been there for me. I mean, I think about it. If the shoe was on the other foot, what would I have done? Would I have stuck around? Would I have forked out all of this money to help the person that I'm with get out of trouble and survive? That's a difficult choice to make.
right. You're
Yes.
blessed.
But he's got. Thank the Lord, he's stuck with me, and he put a ring on my finger. So
Congratulations. You know what? I just told my girls today. I said, when you start thinking about a boyfriend, get sick, be your worst, be whatever. And if he's still there and is still showing that he cares for you and trying to help, that's the one.
yes, absolutely. The one that can put up with you is the one that you
That's
keep.
your worst. Yes.
Amen to that, right? He still puts up with me.
She puts up with me, so
Can we do final thoughts, guys?
we are totally
Yeah, sure.
opposite. But yeah.
Yes.
Anyhow,
I don't like to cut it short, but
you gotta get dinner going.
I
a
gotta
few
get
other
dinner
things
on,
done.
and gotta get some work done.
Yeah,
Gotta hop
Never
over to Jeff's and
stops.
listen while we get our stuff done.
yeah,
So
that's what I do. I put them on, and while I'm cooking dinner.
yeah, it's good
Well,
dinner, Joe.
I wanted to thank you for letting me come up. I'm sorry if I
Oh,
kind of
absolutely.
manipulated the first part of the conversation. I do apologize.
You are
for that.
absolutely fine. I
No,
thought
you-
it was a fantastic conversation, and I thought it was one that people wanted to hear. And everybody's got their own take on things, and I think it's really important that we do have these conversations, that we're not scared to discuss these things, because it's eye-opening to other people too.
This is how it all
You know?
began to begin with. I mean,
This is how you
began
bring
with
people
of different
together.
opposition, different.
Sorry.
This is how we all started.
Well, and
Agreeing,
that's
even
how
though we
you.
disagree.
That's how you.
You know,
Yeah. You have to agree to disagree, and you never know who you might reach and put them down another path or another way of thinking.
Exactly.
Oh, I understand that. I worry that I'm going to come across, you know, the wrong
you're
way
not.
or rub
You
somebody
don't
the
have
wrong
to
way.
worry about that here, Mutt.
Yeah.
We're not going to take you the wrong way. People think I'm abrasive. I'm okay with that. If you think I'm abrasive and you don't care for how I speak, that's fine. Either let me know. Maybe I'll try to change it, or if I'm not in the mood to, I won't. And you have the option.
I can go with that. I can work with that.
You know, so and that's okay. I've been told that all my life, that I'm abrasive. I don't speak right. People take me wrong. They don't like me because of the way I speak. But I'm a very bluntly open, honest person. And there are things that I keep to myself. Of course, there are things that we all keep to ourselves. But if you ask my opinion on something, I'm not scared to give it to you. You know what I mean? And those are the kind of things that we have to have open discourse about, because, you know, your opinion may differ from mine, but what it does is it opens us both up to deepening our faith and our connection with Creator, because we teach each other in this way.
True, and it also allows us to have a better understanding of the other person. So yeah,
Exactly.
I definitely
Yeah.
Right.
It's a back and forth and forward thing.
You're not meant to go this alone. You're not meant to do this by yourself.
No,
Well, I've been doing it by myself for a long time now. So being around people, even on here, is kind of new to me. I've kind of been by myself for.
Hi, Deplorable.
Well, we're glad you joined us, and you're more than welcome
Yes.
to join us anytime you'd
Welcome
like.
to the new world of YouTube, Mutt.
This is the new world right here, but
I mean, I've been around for a few months on here, but you know, because I'm a bit abrasive, there are people who.
Yes, there are some out there.
You know,
well,
They
and
are.
here's the thing:
We got
it's
your
not
back.
just about having the conversations. It's about people learning how to listen, to actually listen,
Yeah, exactly.
because a lot of people hear but don't listen. And
Agreed.
therein is the crux of the problem. I think most people would agree with that, because you'll know the people who have filled their cup up and have no more room for knowledge. You'll know the people who have emptied their cup and don't want it refilled and turn the sucker upside down on the bar. You'll know those people because they won't listen. They'll hear you, but they won't listen. And that's what we also need to get out to people, that it's okay to open your ears and your heart and listen, so that you have discernment and you can move forward on your path, you know? And you can get closer to God. You can get that connection, that relationship.
And Deplorable, if you're asking if it's the same mutt, yes, it is the same mutt.
Can you put
all right,
a
guys.
link for your channel?
I'm gonna get off. You guys have a day.
All right, hon. You too.
All right. Bye.
Love you, LHS.
All right. Bye.
What's that, Bonnie? Bye.
All right.
Is it in the private chat?
What's that?
Mutt's link.
Yeah. Mutt's email.
My email, yes, it is.
Mutt, you want to shout out your link and stuff? You're
welcome.
more than welcome to.
I'm on. You can find me on Celtic Mutt on excuse me, on YourTube, YORETUBE.net. You can also find me on yourspot.com under the same name.
Yeah, spell YourTube again.
YORE, like Days of Yore.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Bonnie, you got a final thought, honey?
No, this has been a very interesting conversation, and didn't expect it to turn the way it did, but I think that maybe it needed to. And I love it, all of y'all. This y'all are family, and I appreciate being able to come up here and each of us give our views and opinions with no judgment. and hopefully helping
Absolutely.
others. I really,
And this
really
is how
think
you
that
show
Monty
people.
needed to do that.
Go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
I really think that Monty needed to say what he said today, and if this discussion is what led him to do that, hallelujah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the thing, because, it's not our place to judge any other human being for any cause. Um, we are not judges of our fellow man. We are to love our brothers and sisters. And,
We have one
and I,
judge
I
in the
fully
end.
believe that. And so, this is also how we show people that you don't have to judge people to have a conversation. You don't have to judge people to get the answers that you want. There are ways to deal with things in life that don't use that. And people have learned judgment just like they've learned manipulation since they were children by watching society and television and, sometimes even their parents. Um,
Yeah.
So, I feel like that's part of how we help each other is to show that we can do this without judgment on anybody's thoughts or beliefs. And I love all of you guys that were up here. Thank you so much for coming up today.
Well, thank you for having
I
me.
thought that was a great,
Yes,
great
thank you for
discourse
having
that
me.
we had today. And I thought that was great. And man, there was just so much energy flowing around in here.
Awesome.
So, yeah, you guys, and of course, you guys know you're all welcome up here. I'm going to address this one comment in chat real quick before we get off. Deplorable. I do not. Do you want me to email him for you? Sorry, guys. You have final thoughts, honey?
No, other than that, just relax. Life is evolution. You can't stop it, but we can work around it. Other than that, love and light. Have a great afternoon.
Y'all
God
have a
bless
good
y'all.
day.
God bless
Yep.
y'all.
All right,
Love
everybody
and
have a
light.
good day. God bless.
All right. Take care, y'all. See you guys later in
You
chat.
too.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to all the mods that come in and mod for us. We love you guys. Love you.